work of the devil, and it shall appear.
All right, it's going to be slow. We are encumbered, but let's start an episode right here. We'll just keep on playing. Welcome back again, friends, to another episode of Tactical Enlightenment. Our YouTube channel is dedicated to all things Bannerlord related. We dump a bunch of fish back in the sea, and we are heading to Hvalvik. The previous episode, we intended on starting our little kingdom here, or at least the road to becoming our own kingdom by taking the city of Hvalvik, and we were rudely interrupted by 1,800 Valandians that insisted on being given up to the god of Odin. They died. We move on. We're dumping all our food here in the water because I'm moving really slow. I don't want this to take 9 minutes getting to the island. Now, I did originally get a lot of food, but the boats are a challenge, right? The boats are highly limited on space unless you have the Drummonds, unless you have the huge boats. Man, look at this shit. They are getting throttled. And the king is trapped. Halfdar is trapped. And it's Monchug. The Khazad are just whipping the Nords in the east. As soon as we left, everything fell apart. I mean, I'm not saying that we were the reason. Well, maybe I am kind of saying that we certainly had some major keep defenses. We already captured and destroyed Monchug a few times. But nevertheless, we're heading west. We will, if anybody's curious, we will definitely be involving ourselves in battles against the Khazad somehow, some way. I will make it happen for this campaign because we need to do guides on how to defeat the Khazad in the open and how to defeat them in various different situations with Nord forces. And obviously, they're on the other side of the map. So we are going to try to take this city. There's no guarantees we're going to get it, but boy, it's likely. And it's interesting. It looks like they had mercy on the king and left. I don't know if Halfdar just married off all his sisters and gave them as concubines to the Khan or what, but they left. They got very lucky there. And we're going to do some steps here necessary to maximize both our chances to succeed in the siege, but also to continue to forward our prosperity afterwards, right? You have these Valandian / Nord-owned villages. We're going to go to all of them and say, give us your sons, right? And we're going to tell them, look, it's a loan. We're going to have this city. We're going to cut taxes by 50%, right? As long as you send some pretty women over to our chief commanders, we will do all kinds of wonderful things for your villages. We'll cut taxes. We'll stop all these scum Valandian from persecuting you guys. And we're paying the Sturgeons for tribute, so... Halfdar's kind of a bitch. Yeah, he's this old guy, and it seems like I hear people say he dies in their campaign like a year into the camp. I wish they would have made him like 42 and a beast. It's almost like they made the Nords a rebuilding situation. You start your Nord campaign and everything falls apart. You get invaded. The island is instantly taken every single time. I'll be cruel here and get some Nordlings. And Halfdar seems to be an inept bitch. He just seems to get captured and his armies get destroyed left and right. And they'll pay us? No. No, they're not paying us. The tribute system is much better. Much, much better. Of course we should have to pay. If I was Monchug, I'd be like, give me 5,400. So here's the good news. At least out east, they're not going to get pile drived anymore. I don't care too much about it, honestly, but that also means that we may get more war out west, which is good. All right, so let's get focused here. What we're doing is hitting these villages and telling, give us your sons, because we want as many troops as possible when we siege Hvalvik, and we want to make sure that our companion armies that are here, right? We have this noble that's with us. We want to make sure that she dumps a bunch of troops in the garrison because we're hoping it's our garrison, right? We're hoping that once we take the city, we get voted for it. And one of the ways we're going to ensure that or make it more likely is by dumping Ustokol Castle, right? We keep on trading our baseball cards in for better ones here. We're very shrewd. We're upgrading. And the system is very likely to consider us for the vote for Hvalvik. And now we have enough influence to actually swing the decision. Now, let's be smart here, right? The Valandians are sieging right here I think it'll be at least 6-7 days till we get attacked by that force. But who knows what's coming from the mainland, right? We got to be wary of that. We need to be able to break off this siege if we have to, and make for safe ground. Now, I like that bottom one. We get more troops from artisan nobles. That's basically like your craft fuckers, I think, in the city. The two-handed skill is ripping, and look at this shit. We just hit level 28, so we get, I think, more vigor, right? We're going to work on more throwing. We're not really going to do too much intelligence and social, but we definitely want to get his vigor even higher, right? Get his two-handed to 300. Glaron Heavyhand is going to be a menace in this campaign. We might even push it to 10. We'll see. All right. So it's going to take a little bit here, right? We've got to build trebuchets and stuff like that. Now, you do not have to do this, right? I'm doing this to increase our odds of success. A lot of guys would say just build a siege catapult or a siege ram and two towers. That would be effective. But I want to minimize our losses here. There's a large defense there. There's no militia, right? Because the city's effectively rebelling, so the militia is refusing to fight, which is good, right? If there was 400 militia here, this would be really hard. But it's still 437 tough troops, so we don't want to suffer a huge disastrous Pyrrhic victory here. We don't want to lose 350 troops sieging this city, so I'm going to be a little bit deliberate, a little bit methodical, just like we've been taking the steps to set up our success and get voted for this city and to have a large garrison. I want to be cautious here. So we're going to spend a couple 3 minutes doing this pre-siege setup. We're going to build, once we have that third trebuchet built, we'll unleash them all. And, you know, the clock is ticking, right, till Valandia responds. They're probably 4 or 5 days sailing away from us. Come on, I can't click this shit. Come on. Not a terrific UI. Maybe we could fix this. But there we go. Now we can fast forward. All 3 trebuchets pop up at the same time, and we're very quickly going to destroy their counter siege because our guy has 200-something engineering. With only 2 points of intelligence, with 5 focus points, you can still get skills to 200, and that's pretty damn good, right? That's going to help you a lot. Now, some people say, well, how'd you get it to 200? By using those catapults, right? In the last episode, we're firing catapults and killing 50 Valandians at a time. You do that, and each shot you're gaining, 5 or 10 engineering. I didn't look closely, but that's one of the ways we've been doing it. And we're going to be able to further do it here because there's a fire catapult. We built a fire catapult. I'm going to use it. We're at the right spot here. The enemy has no counter siege. We have a fire catapult, 3 trebuchets, a siege tower, and a ram, and it's basically an optimal situation to take this city. No, I like this one. More bandits, recruit, and prisoners, help us carry shit. Sure. Some perks are not that important. All right. Now let's be methodical here too, right? We'll just call this episode methodical, diabolically methodical, right? We're going to be very slowly forcing our weight like a very senior, experienced sumo wrestler. We're going to corner our opponent, ensure there's no way that they can flip us or push us out of the ring, and we are going to exert force on them until they fucking give up. We're just going to very, very slowly punish our way through this city defense. Now, long ago, I looked at this city defense, and it looks really good. Now, that's going to make it harder for us to siege here, but that was one of my calculations of why I wanted this to be the city that we started with in this campaign. Not only as our first city as a vassal, but obviously when we declare ourselves our own kingdom. The island, I think, is a bit of a disadvantage because you have to sail if you want to expand. The flip side is once you get your city secured, you're going to have a nice jumping spot to launch assaults, right? You're going to have this ability to protect your island with the big garrison and then launch raids. Now, what we've done here is set up the siege tower on the left. I've adjusted the units so that the 1st and 2nd division is going to be our vanguard. The 1st division is the 1st division over the wall, and the 2nd division is our throwing guys, skirmishers. The archers we're going to spread out in defensive lines, And anybody who's seen Siege on our channel before is pretty familiar with what we're doing here. The ram and the tower have units assigned to 3rd and 4th Division. And once we get our troops up to the walls here, I'm gonna jump on this fire catapult. Both to expedite our siege, but also we're still pushing our engineering skill. We're leveling our character. If we had a low siege skill, this would be the kind of siege we got a lot of skill points, because we're going to be able to sit on it for a while. Ram's going to take a while to get to the gate. When you have ladders, if you rush up them early on in a siege like this, your troops get massacred. The enemy is going to have tons of archers behind. Like I said, when I've looked at this city before, there's a lot of room for archers and defensive units to be off the walls. And the AI does a pretty good job about it, right? It does put some archers up here on the walls, but the reserves are down in the courtyard smoking you. Just like these fuckers trying to smoke us. It just sounds like it hurts. All right. Gonna send this 1st Division up in a shield wall. Gonna keep these guys occupied here, and we're gonna give them hell. Jump on a fire catapult here. Our skirmishers can move closer. The 5th Division of archers is here. Now we gotta find this fire catapult. Where's this shit? There it is. Look out, fellas. No, I'm not winding the winch for you. I'm in charge. All right, let's see here. Let's see if we can get our catapult dialed in. You're liable to get friendly fire. Well, right away we get a good hit, but usually it's not that easy. And that's our allies are already on the walls. We're aiming for that thick group of troops. The reason I say you're likely to get friendly fire is that catapults are not consistent. Oh shit! Get up! Get up! Damn! I just killed like 30 of our troops. That's exactly what I was just saying. Basically, you can have a catapult in the exact same spot for 2 shots in a row, and they will be different. There's variability to it. So what does that mean? When you're on a catapult, generally you want to aim past the enemy. You see that shot went over their head. I probably should have taken that first shot a little bit deeper, because if it's sort of dead center on the enemy, when you shoot low, you kill your own guys, right? That's a lot better. We'll take a couple more shots here before we run up there and help. But that variability does make it hazardous, right? The bottom line is it's difficult not to have friendly fire. So your left-right button, of course, that moves your catapult aim, and then your up-down moves that little gauge on the red. If you want to go back and look at it, I always forget to mention it, but then again, a lot of the guys watching already know this. You know, some guys are like, how do I increase the distance? There's like I said, there's a little red bar on the catapult itself. You can just rewind the episode. I looked down at it a few times. All right, the enemy's already pretty battered here. So we're going to bring the 1st and 2nd Divisions up. I think we can bring the 5th up as well. There's a bunch of little Nordlings here trying to stop us. They're holding up their little rope-bound shields. Kill these guys. They are tough little fuckers. These guys block everything. I mean, you thought Sturgeons defended well. Nords defend really well. They're tough little bitches. They're all short for some reason. Then again, Glaron Heavyhand is 7 foot tall. Just hulking mass of a fucking being. Smoke some archers here. We're going to take over this left side quickly. There's troops in the gatehouse trying to shoot at me. I see you. I eat my carrots, motherfuckers. All right, let's get our archers and infantry down here. And we're going to sweep through the city, taking what we like and setting fire to the rest, right? The quote you say when you devastate a city. We're not actually going to devastate the city, of course. We're hoping to own this. These are going to be our troops here in 5 minutes. Get our units spread out here. Now, the enemy's got a lot of really high-end infantry here, so this is going to be a little harder than I thought. Damn, they're waxing our troops. This is what I meant, right? This castle defense is no joke. They got some tough troops here. Look how fast this guy moves. It is like a fucking cheat code. And I swear to you that this is like normal Normal, vanilla. We're not using any mods, right? Well, we have the RTS mod, but there's no mods here. There's no cheat codes. This is just a very fast, very tall beast character. Spec'd to be a beast, right? He hits them so hard their shield goes airborne. I mean, he is a beast. Now, the damage is low. This is, I can't remember the name of this axe. We've talked about it a little bit during the episodes, but it's incredibly long and incredibly fast and low damage. So, it's not a perfect axe by any stretch, but it looks like a cheat code because it's so quick on the battlefield, right? It's just, he's swinging like every second and nothing can outswing it. Then we also have our shorter, higher damage axe, right? We've got these incredible, one was, actually, you know what? They were both things we bought in cities. I was going to say one was a drop. I now remember I bought both of these in Nord cities. Look at this little Nordling. He can't. He blocked 42 times in a row. That was hilarious looking. All right, so lots of more Nordlings here at the gate, and they're defending vigorously. Right? I love these guys' spirit. Right, we're going to bring these guys into our own army. And our garrison at the gate got destroyed, right? So the AI does a good job these days of defending. Like, they're vigorously defending this fucking city. Even if they're getting waxed by the axe. You coward! And this character is not even maxed out, and he's already... You guys might even get sick following his movements. It's actually hard to control. Look at this shit. It feels like I'm on crack. And of course, we have a speed banner. We have a speed banner, and we have like 300 athleticism, right? And we're going to get more athleticism. It's incredibly, it's going to get faster. We don't even have the fastest speed banner. There's a higher level one. He's already just like a freak of nature. But this was also one of the intents on this. Oops. Oh, this guy's our... I think that's it. This is one of the intents of the campaign. How badass of a character, a Norse character, can you make? I think we're going to answer that question in this campaign. This guy is absolutely ferocious, and this city is going to be ours. 99% going to be ours. How beautiful is this? It's another picturesque city. The bay looks tropical. It's like beautiful water, but you'd probably get killed if you swam in it for 5 minutes, get hypothermia. And this city is going to be defendable. Look at all the different room for archers and to jam up stairways. So come get some Valandia or whoever else wants to siege us here. Tons of more influence. And kind of bloody, right? Bloodier than I was anticipating. But we'll take it. We'll take all these prisoners. And it's begun, right? 99% we're going to get voted for this city. I'll look like a real asshole if we don't. We've got the influence now to max out our vote, so to speak, right? You have the ability to vote, I think, up to 150, but we might not have to, right? We're going to be fiefless, and that should be enough to get this city. Now, there's 150 in the garrison already. The bad news is if we don't get the city, those troops are lost, right? Some other lord fucking seizes them, but I think there's a pretty good chance those are going to be ours. You can dump this, so you just say give away, right? I don't want this. There's no garrison there. It's deep in Sturgeon territory. Yeah, one of you other lords can have it. Enjoy that one. And now a day from now, this city should vote. Now it's rebelling still, right? So we're going to have to work on the loyalty. Let's talk about that here too. We're going to gather up some troops here before the vote happens. Look at the loyalty, 8. And your own kingdom's fiefs can rebel, right? This city can definitely rebel on us. We'll have to re-siege it if it does. Here we go, here we go. And glorious, right? We don't even have to put any influence on it. Let's just put a little bit, right? We could put just a little bit of influence just to sort of swing the vote, like emphatically. Yeah, this is our city, bitches. Those other lords didn't like that, but we don't give a fuck. In 3 episodes, they'll be feeling our axe. As soon as we marry their daughter. All right, so let's hit these villages real quick. I want food, I want troops, and then I'm going to go sit on my egg. We're going to sit in Hvalvik. A city cannot rebel while you're in it, right? As the main character. If you're sitting there, it doesn't matter what the loyalty is. So we're going to sit in this city. Bread and circuses and the threat of being beheaded should convince these peasants that They want to be loyal, right? 13. It's going up fast. Like 13 plus 4. It's going to be 2-3 days sitting in the city at most. The loyalty, once it gets above 25, the chances of rebelling is 0. And then we'll be good to go. It's a good sized garrison here. And I want to take some of these best troops, right? So I'll do this at the beginning with the new city. I basically just sort by tier, and then I dump in a bunch of the lowest level troops. I generally, at this stage, am still veering towards archers. We want to have a good amount of archers because I'm also hoping, planning, scheming that we get the castle that's on this island as well. It's a much lower chance that we get the castle, but that's next on the agenda. And I don't think this episode, but obviously that's sort of the next most common sense thing to do is to take that castle. We'll have the castle in the city. And if not, at least it'll be Nord, right? We can't have fucking Valandian castle right in our backyard. Donate some troops here to our companions. We're also going to take their best troops, right? Here's the thing. When we take that castle, we do not want to have a whole bunch of really good troops on our companions. Our main character, you want to have all the best troops. And here's the reason. When we take the castle, your troops, your own companion armies will dump some of their troops into the garrison. Well, it's numerical. I don't care if they dump 15 Nordlings, but I'll be pissed if they dump 15 Huskarls, right? So we're going to, and by the way, you want to do Mason skill. We'll talk about this a little bit more. But the point is you want to make sure that your companion armies don't dump your good troops into a castle somebody else gets, right? Now, the city's got lots of food. Let's get a governor established. We want someone with building, this one, faster building production, because we're going to start building here, right? Now that we've conquered, just like Napoleon, we're going to try to rebuild France. And the priority on some of these others is less, right? The fortification level's already high enough. Eventually, we'll raise them more. But risk of rebellion, we want to make sure that we just sit here for a few days. We started the building process. I dumped a bunch of money into the city. And that basically, I don't know, it pays a bunch of dudes to get out with their trowels and they start building shit. Whoops. We're getting deserters here. So again, you see the troops we're keeping, right? And when we take that castle, we'll keep as many good troops as possible. In fact, we'll try to pass a policy or two that helps us carry even more troops. There's 2 policies right away that you can try that'll really help both your army get more troops, but also your cities with loyalty. We'll talk about policies, I think, next episode. Let's continue to keep these episodes sort of succinct, 30 minutes, 40-minute episodes at most. And the next episode, I think it's castle taking time. Now, this stupid fuck here, this Valandian, we need to string him up by his toes. This is our island. We're going to corner this little fucker. There's no escape. They usually make me look so bad. This guy's 12. Well, that's because you're 12, dude. You don't know what anybody looks like. Of course, he thinks he has the whole world figured out. 131. We have a lot of room for troops, right? So we need to hit villages. The city could still rebel, but it's imminently going to be above 25. I feel like we have time to hit these villages. And the clock is ticking, right? We know Valandia is going to send forces here. Not maybe, for sure. So we want to get going here because we're going to need a week or so to get up to that castle, siege it, and then get a garrison inside there. And hopefully we get voted for it. I think that'll be next episode. I don't think we can squeeze that into the time allotments. Now, though, we have influence, right? So now we can start we can send basically summons to these other Nord nobles and say, come to the island. I insist, right? We're using our influence here and calling nobles to us. We still have 366, so it's going to be enough to do some policies. The loyalty will be above 25 here soon. There's plenty of food, right? People are moving in left and right. They're sending us pretty women because they love our leadership. Back then, of course, women were basically property. You ladies have no idea how good you have it now. Or maybe you do. I don't mean to say you're ungrateful. The world's still clearly a patriarchy, right? We continue to move towards equality, but it's 2 steps forward, 1 steps back, right? Our society is sort of sexist by nature, and that's a debate that's ongoing, right? Do women have the capacity to lead? Should men lead? Should women be, naked, barefoot, and pregnant in the kitchen? There's some women just gritting their teeth, for the record, I definitely lean towards women should be leaders. As a student of history, I can tell you I've studied all kinds of queens throughout history, and they did a great job. Shit, I gotta go. We're gonna wrap this episode up. Thanks for watching, friends, and I'll see you next time.